Hey everyone, Ben here from Sydney Fruit Gardening. It's time to do a spring update, so I'm going to take you around my backyard. I might do a front yard tour later, but I'll take you around the backyard and show you what's growing on at the moment. Alright, so we've got a beautiful summer's day here in Sydney. Feels like a summer day, it's still spring. And everything is popping, everything's going really well at the moment. Everything's waking up from the wintertime blues. So I showed the Rollinia not too long ago. This one is continuing to grow. Those little flower buds progressively getting bigger. They need to get a lot bigger than that, but they are getting bigger. So that one's coming along nicely. I've got the Kampong white Sapote here. Unfortunately, pretty much all the grafts I did on that failed because we had about a week of mild weather, then we had a couple of 30 to 35 C days. So what I'm finding with white Sapote, wood or cyanwood, is it does dry out really quickly in warm weather. But it looks like this one is still going all right. I'm sure there's some shoots there that want to take off. This one down here is going quite well. So these shoots are coming along. This was from I've just called it Lucius because it's from the name of the guy I got the cyanwood from. And he didn't know the variety, but it's going well. The Jabbo, this is the giant or the Grimmel. This is all new growth. It's doing nicely. I reckon all these cyanwoods are dried out, but I'll leave them on there and see what happens. And this is my Atherton Raspberry, native raspberry. It's a bit spiky, this one. This isn't the thornless. There's a little bit spiky. And how's this for some garden snacks? These are just really sweet, nice off the tree, and perfect when they're just about to fall off and they sort of come off in your hand. Plenty more on the way. It can get a little out of hand. I've tied this big bunch back to the shed, and it will send out, you can see this here, it sends out runners, so you do have to take care to make sure it is contained. But they're quite a delicious fruit and easy to take care of. I highly recommend growing them. So there's the Atherton Raspberry. Got this as a cutting from a friend. And yeah, look, I tried to grow it in a pot for a while. It just didn't do very well. So I do think it needs to be in ground, but you do need to tie it up and control it. Oh, there's another one. Oh, beautiful. All right, well, I've got bananas up here. They're getting bigger. I don't think they're ready yet, but look, they're getting close. Oh, I've done an experiment on the Rollinia here. I've tried to graft soursop onto the Rollinia, so technically I think it's possible. They're both Ononas, so we'll see what happens there. It's almost completely got rid of all of its leaves now. This one's a couple still left, but it's popping on the new growth really nicely. So this is just the habit with Rollinias in a little bit more marginal climate, is they lose their leaves. It's just what they do, and then they come back perfectly fine in spring. So I don't think it's really anything to be worried about, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, we had a really mild winter this year, and it shed its leaves even though we were well into the mid-20s. So it wasn't actually the cold by that stage, it was just what it wanted to do. So that's what this tree does, to be honest. Alright, the strawberry guava is actually starting to pop on some flower buds. I've not had fruit from this yet, so looking forward to trying the strawberry cherry guava. The other guavas in pots are doing fine, nothing by way of flower buds on them yet. Go back here in amongst the foliage to the wax jambu. Wax jambu has started to shoot some new growth too. So it's doing quite nicely. No sign of flowers. I would love to get some flowers this year and maybe try some fruit, but it is marcotted, so I hope we can do that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Atherton Lychee in ground. It's slowly growing these flower buds, very slowly. It hasn't really changed much, hasn't put on much growth since last time I showed it. It's a marcot too, but it's yeah, I only recently planted that in the ground, you know, a month, probably 2 months ago, somewhere there. All right, the Peterias, so the green Sapote is doing fine. It's trying to put out some new growth. It's probably actually a bit dry. Might need to water that one. Canistel is starting to put out new growth up here. Black Sapote is doing well. These are, it always seems to spit out kind of almost very light white almost growth. This is greener in on the camera than what it is in person. It looks very white in person. A whole bunch of black Sapotes down there, getting bigger and bigger. I think they're getting closer to being ready. Looks like my Patanga tuber's taking a knock in the sun as well, so it's not dry, but it certainly got burnt on some of those hot days. Not had any flowers on this one either, so fingers crossed. A cha-cha is starting to put out some new growth. These look amazing when they're covered in the fresh new sort of waxy leaves, so I think it's looking pretty good. No flower buds yet. Can you see any? No flower buds. Long waiting game for the cha-cha to flower. I don't know what's up with my avocado. Doesn't look good. So the avocado started losing leaves a little while back. Probably about a month ago. I thought it was just dry, so I watered it and the leaves perked up, and now it's dropped pretty much all its leaves. We are having some hot days though, so I do wonder. It gets quite hot coming off this colour-bond shed, so yeah, look, still got some leaves, and maybe it's just got a thing where it sheds leaves each year, I don't know. Anyway, avocado is a good fruit. I would like to have it on my list, like to grow it, but also temperamental from what I hear. So I've got plenty of other fruit in pots that could go in its spot if it decides to fail. So no big deal, but if you've got some ideas, let me know. Pear tree's going okay. It's starting to shoot out. Got some bud grafts on there I'm hoping will take. No flowers this year. It's still a young tree, so hopefully we'll get some later, although our climate isn't really pear growing climate. Keep looking for flowers. All right. I go over here, got the apple trees. The apple trees are all shooting. It is a bit of an experiment here to work out what apple varieties do well. There's about 35 varieties grafted on these trees. But some do better than others. Mutsu is a new graft. It looks like it's got a decent amount of flowers coming. This one is Christmas apple. Heaps of flowers on this little grafted tree that I made up. Sundowners, really prolific as well. Fuji. But we're testing some new ones. Got Braeburn, Devonshire Quarrendon, Vistabella, Golden Delicious, Peasgood Nonsuch, Red Cleopatra, Kelville Blanc d'Hiver, I think it's called. Heaps of varieties of apples, guys. So the great thing is you get the extended harvest. So these are the Dorset Goldens coming along. They'll be ready in December. Where Fuji, these won't be ready until March, April next year. Have a look at this guy, just hanging out on the apple tree. I've seen him buzzing around the garden recently. And I wouldn't say I'm necessarily an organic gardener, but I try not to use pesticides or too many chemicals in the garden, because you just get rid of this sort of natural life. And ever since I stopped using those sorts of chemicals, I've actually noticed a lot more bugs in the garden, and the bad bugs are generally, except with the exception of fruit fly, but most other bad bugs like aphids and whatnot are sort of balanced out because the natural predators are around. So yeah, pretty cool. Well, look here, here's my first coffee cherry. This is I think it's called the Blue Mountain Kenya or Blue Mountain coffee variety from Daly's. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. There you go, let's pick it. All right, potted mango, trying to get some fruit. Always the great decision, is it? How do you actually leave fruit on these small trees and get the fruit now, or do you knock them off and let the tree focus on growing? Always a tough decision. Easy to say just to let the tree grow, but it's always very tempting. All right, lots of little grafts I've done on this citrus tree, some bud grafts this time as well, so I'm hoping they take. That's what I mean by bud graft here. Another one over here. Fingers crossed. All the seedlings are doing well. Some figs coming. This is the white Adriatic. These are just the Breva crop. Not even the main crop yet, guys. So lots of figs coming along. Here's a star apple. It's been a little bit, some of the old leaves are dying off, just the shock from coming outside, I think, into some of the hot weather. Soursop, I probably need to pot this guy up. It's several years old now, probably 3-4 years old. That'd be a monster tree in the tropics. Abiu are doing great. Pomegranates, they're the wonderful pomegranate varieties. This is the green, these are the yellow. So the cuttings have worked nicely. I just used a temporary greenhouse to help them along. Luke's Garcinia. I might try and put this guy in the ground soon. It's getting to an okay size. Sapote carbo, again, these grafts I think have fallen victim to hot sun, but we'll see how they go. All right, some of the white Sapote grafts have been successful, so got this one here. That's the pike. I think I've got a Vernon over here. Yeah, that's some new growth on the Vernon. So they're doing well. Apples starting to form on this Tropic Sweet. This is another good early low chill variety of apple, guys. So if you don't have Tropic Sweet, it's even earlier than Dorset, so well worth getting. And yeah, that's the little nursery and seedling area. As I said, I'll do another tour of the front yard and show you what's going on there soon. Little Suriname cherry there. All right, guys. Bye.